Those were the players to watch, presented by RBC Wealth Management, proud partner of Major League Soccer. Another new era starts for CF Montreal against Red Bull New York, coming up on Apple TV.
Structure this team, solo marking rather than the man-v-man system. Samuel Piette, who's only started one match this season, comes back into the fold. Those three can cause problems on the ball. And so can Cowell with his running power, whipping balls in for Julian Hall.
Here we go. Montreal playing from right to left in this first half. Started better last week, of course. The 27-year-old from Massapequa, New Jersey. Of course, his brother, Sean, a long-time servant of the club, leaving in the off-season. That's intercepted from the play-out. It's Laturi! It's 1-0 Montreal! They could ring the bell. In truth, they were gifted it a little bit, but he still had to finish it, and he did.
Either they're seeking something to support, and how similar this was to a few weeks back when Montreal went into New York Red Bulls and they scored a goal at Carmona at the time, catching the Red Bulls as they tried to play out. This time Laturi catches forward, dropping deep.
Conceding the early goal in the way that they're going to want to play. That's Laturi's third goal in Major League Soccer, his first of this season. Here's Jaquil Marshall-Rutty against his former club. Came to the Red Bulls in a trade that saw Wiki Carmona move to Montreal. Carmona out injured today. Piette snaps into that challenge, and now they break, and the flag stays down. Jaime, and he finds Owusu, who took a touch, he didn't need to, and he put it wide. But the flag, after all that, has gone up on the far side. They were just a yard too far in front of that Red Bull back line. But Owusu would still have wanted to finish that, I think.
Well, what emotion that Montreal are playing off of right now, and for Red Bulls, that is a big weakness of theirs, is how high a line they do play and always looking to go forward. There's so much space in behind. Just so happens that Jaime is gone a little bit too early. Still, Owusu with a rough week last week against Philadelphia, 4 goals on the season. But for his confidence, would still be wanting to see that ball go into the back of the net.
One of those goals against Red Bull. Cowell attacking down the right for Red Bull New York. It's the first time we've had to look down that end of the field in these opening minutes. It's been all the team in blue, but Donkor trying to find Forsberg, cleared away, and they've got runners away, and again Red Bull are really exposed. 3-on-2, straight for Owusu. Paul Mather stayed at home. Jaime is in support. Red Bull getting numbers back. There's the cross, nearly forced to Longstaff, cleared away, hooked upfield by Volodeur. And somewhat wasteful, you would say, the situation Montreal had there. They had a 3-on-2, and ultimately Red Bull were able to get some retreating young legs back.
Being so good on the ball and the confidence his manager has given, and then Forsberg and Donkor playing further up, getting in the pockets.
Michael Bradley expressing his pride in the display in Miami last week. Very, very proud, said he was. This is set up for Longstaff, and just wide from the Englishman.
Strick gets out wide. I mean, he leaves him for Dustas.
He's more central this year with Forsberg than we've seen him in this last in MLS. He's tipped it from the left now, tipping to the left. This is the Montreal left. Petrasso for Owusu, and he didn't get control of the cross.
Just didn't have the legs to catch up to it. That was so well done from Petrasso. So he looked at Jaime and thought, could he play him in? But Jaime was coming back from an offside position. That touch beyond Marshall-Rutty gave him all kinds of space.
Vera Petrasso stayed upfield. He'll combine now with Jaime. Jalen Neal. Change the back line this week.
Needs to be a big run of games for Jalen Neal. You mentioned him coming in, so a lot of money was spent on that centre back to come in.
Now Pugai onside again. That back line didn't step up all as one, and then the referee Has he spotted a handball? He has on the cross, and he's given a penalty kick to Montreal from Bugai's cross.
Goes out, it doesn't need to go out. It's unnatural position. Just on second look, is it the right arm?
As we approach half-time, Montreal with a chance to double the advantage. Owusu's left foot is primed. Here he comes. The shimmy and the finish. He went the other way this time. And the way leading very much in Montreal's favour in this first half. Philippe Onafoire will be delighted with this.
First encounter this season, Owusu went to Horvath, left-hand side. And as Horvath starts to lean, there's a stutter step from Owusu, which leaves Horvath standing still and frustratingly can only watch that ball go into the back of the net to make it 2. A different look. Just who it's being spent on needs to be looked at.
Montreal will have this throw. It'll be the last opportunity, you would sense, of this opening half. Marshall Ruddy clashing, but the referee gives the free kick Red Bull way. And with that, Sergei Demyanchuk blows for half-time, and it's been a very impressive first 45 minutes so far. Sofo, of course, someone who got used to starting place at times. One of 3 changes at the start of the second half. Montreal, remember, halfway towards a 100th MLS regular season win at this venue. Underway in the second half, the tan shirts of Red Bull New York playing from right to left. Blue and black, traditional home colours of CF Montreal, who came into this game 6 defeats in 7, but one team they got the better of already this season, of course, Red Bull New York. And thus far, the aggregate scoreline between these teams for the season is Montreal 5, Red Bull New York 0. So will these changes yield a significant shift in the game as we go into the second half?
Well, you do have to remember players like Marshall Ruddy. They played midweek in the US Open Cup.
It's in the next round of the Open Cup, week after next. Corner, post, but somewhat scuffed. Nevertheless, it's still alive. That's Neil's header. Nealis for Forsberg. And then it's struck by Mehmeti and deflected to Bugai. He clears, and now Jaime to try and bring it up. And Owusu, can he get in behind them for a moment while the retreating Volodar, the former Sporting Kansas City man, comes across to get it back to the keeper.
They live on the edge of Red Bulls in all that space, and don't Montreal know it? And as soon as they get on the ball, they can almost just help it on into that area, because the entire front half is free for Montreal to run into if they can be smart and quick on the ball. And going the other way, Red Bulls almost need to take a page out of Montreal's book to play forward quickly and not allow Montreal to be able to get back and get in their block. So interesting, we were chatting with Onafoire, and he said that's going to be one area that they focus on in the training ground, is getting into that defensive block. He said to keep it simple.
Straight now as it breaks down, and they set Owusu away. And he's got Longstaff to his right if he can pick him out. Longstaff to get there, and it's a third for CF Montreal right at the start of the second half. And that could be a crucial blow in the game.
Owusu gets played in. You wondered if he'd have the legs. And instead he takes the ball wide, and you thought the chance had gone. But as soon as he squared it, Nealis, he almost put on the brakes too early and then realized as that ball was coming across that he was caught. Is that one Horvath? Could he be reading it? Could he come out? But it's put right into stride for Longstaff, who still has a little bit to do, and he lifts it so well.
Predicted to go on and record the first 3 points of the season here at Stade Saputo. And of course they have matched the scoreline by which they beat the Red Bulls in the 3rd week of the season. I think these next 40 minutes or so, Ross, are going to be fascinating for us to watch as well from a Red Bull perspective. This is a team, remember, that shipped 6 in their defeat at Charlotte. Admittedly, they were down to 10 men for 40 minutes or so of that, with Bergeron being sent off that day. But they didn't change the philosophy. They kept going, and that was very deliberate from Michael Bradley. And They won't be trying to shut the shop up. They'll be just trying to get goals and get back in the game at the other end. But it's going to leave them open. And, well, if Montreal could release the right ball, there's going to be more goals for them in this as well. So the scoring may not be over.
Well, Michael Bradley, after that Charlotte game, if there was any praise to be had,
oh, that's an own goal! It's an extraordinary own goal! Well, there you go. If you want a break to get back in a game, that's how you get it. I think that has actually come in off Longstaff. It was a pass. He sticks his boot out, and he's actually put it past Gillier. Just extraordinary way back into the game.
They made the difference a few minutes ago in the right end, and this time the wrong end, Longstaff. Horribly unfortunate here as Julian Hall is looking for that slip pass, and Gillier has already started to creep towards his first post.
Key moments in the game, you sense now. Forsberg got there, oh, and then it was just headed over by Sofo, who was arriving at the back. He's just trying to get the control on it. And they've made a sub as well. Straight has come off, and Opoku has come on.
Isn't that interesting
last week, wasn't he?
Yeah, isn't it interesting with the... He's got a big price tag if Montreal decide to activate it and bring him on board full-time.
Stands over the corner. Montreal with a 3-1 lead at the moment. Horvath doesn't even need to make the catch there. That's disappointing. Behind for a throw. Well, big summer to come. The 2026 FIFA World Cup is almost here, and you have the chance to secure your spot today with a single match hospitality package, premium seats and suites, elevated food and beverages, exclusive entertainment, and much more. Book today. FIFAWorldCup.com/hospitality.
That's poor from
International at Forsberg.
Poor from Piet there. Almost rushed it. He's just trying to play it in behind without even looking.
This one too. It's Forsberg again. Sends it wide. It's Mosquera. Still going. It's saved and then cleared away by Neal. Gillier stretching with that damaged shoulder.
He didn't look great, that save it as well. He should be pushing that to the side. He's fortunate it's gone back to Neal. But we've rarely seen that today. The interchange between Doncourt and Forsberg and them getting behind or to the sides of Piet and getting Montreal's defense stretched out. That's when, for me, Red Bulls are at their best. Get Mehmeti at the base and get Forsberg and Doncourt further up the pitch.
So far for Mehmeti. Was just with some momentum, but that back door is alarmingly ajar.
That's what it needs from Montreal, one of those centre-backs then stepping up to help out Piet.
Doncourt up against Petrasso. He gets a good cross in, and Gillier has managed to just keep his feet and his head at the opportune moment.
He's scrambling a bit. Doncourt does well just to get something in there, slight deflection, and Gillier is having to quickly retreat. Assistant referee in a good position. You're looking to see, would that ball sneak agonizingly close to that line?
That'll be a free kick. And then Jaime squaring up here, didn't need to do that. Princeton University mucking around with volleyballs all the way up to cleaning players' boots, shining their boots for $1. I won't spoil the story. Go and read the story yourselves, because it's there's some wonderful anecdotes about a journey and a family journey through football. That has gone into the book in the meantime.
That was my favorite part of Michael Bradley. We asked him down on the pitch before the game, how much money did you make then? Sounded like it was at $1 for a pair of boots. He said, I came away with $5. I felt rich.
Contributions in that article for the likes of Jesse Marsh as well, so it's well worth the catch-up if you get an opportunity to scan the web and find that article. Now, Montreal are planning a couple of changes. Escobar, and it looks like The veteran Fabian Herbers are coming on. In the meantime, this is Owusu. Can he finish? Opoku can! From the outside, very much to the inside, Mihaela Opoku.
When that ball pops through, you look at both centre-backs, both go towards the ball, and there's a little gap then for Owusu to come into. And great recognition from him as Dos Santos is desperately trying to prevent that square ball. There's enough lift on it to carry it into the path of Opoku, who has been searching for a goal for a long time. Much better afternoon for Owusu compared to last week against Philadelphia. I thought he had a real tough game against Philadelphia, but he's turned that around today. Could have had a couple more goals.
Forward they look for Choupo-Moting, who actually scored here last year in the Red Bull victory. Both the goal scorers starting the day on the bench for Red Bull from that team that won here last season. Parker, the other player. Clears. So we have the first round of midweek games coming up for not everybody in MLS this week. As here's Rios. His first touches as a substitute. Daniel Rios could save. The follow-up then towards goal came from Escobar.
Ends up going the other way, yeah. And Rios, slight little stutter step. It's a solid strike, but it's one. Saber Horvath rocking it. It's something special. It may not be as cavernous as other grounds, but it gets on top of you. And he's gone a long way to pull that back today.
We're in 5 minutes of added time at the end of this one. Reminder, they're close to kickoff in Denver at Mile High. Miami and the Colorado Rapids in front of 70,000 plus this afternoon.
The guy is starting to cramp a little bit. I think Gilles has just come on and said, get up, get through the final few minutes. The guy won't want to give up his spot at all. He's very much would be feeling the pressure of Thorolfsson, just waiting in the wings to come into a right back position. But Bukai, you would say, has perhaps earned his spot in the 11 for the next match as well.
Thorolfsson was told by Marco Donadel, so we understand pre-season that he would be using the right positions. This is Rios again. He's through on that right foot, and Horvath again denies him.
There's Rios, that's twice. Nelson's coming on. He's found that bit of space. Down the side to the centre back. Heard the name Mo Nancy come up a couple times today too.
The lone really successful manager they've had in recent times here. Remember, a fine team going into the Eastern Conference playoffs. Probably should have gone further that year. And Nancy would depart and go to Columbus. We know where the story went with him there.
Whichever way they go, Montreal is pivotal, because the reset button has been hit so many times over the last few years.
It's a Montreal morale booster. Their 100th MLS regular season victory at Stade Saputo. Far more importantly for the interim Philippe Lefroy, it's a first home win